Hey guys, Figurecraft here. We're back and we're still working on painting stuff. So, what I'll show you now is when we go to over here and we look at this part right here, this little housing piece. It has a brown trim that goes around the outer edge of it. You see there, a brown trim, and then it's got gray on the top. So, that's what I just got through doing now. So let me get you back over here to my work and I'll show you what we got done. So now zooming in on this piece right here I just painted. There you see we got the banister painted at the top. We have the brown trim going around the outer edge of it. And we got the gray. And then the little white going around on the outside of the gray. So we have done that now. I have done that on both of them. They're just drying right now. But we're still working on painting things. So you can see how we got that done. We have the inner of these window frames painted. All the way around. Of these little pieces that goes on to the side. The next part I'll be focusing on is that little shelf hanging out. But we got both of them. We have done the bridge area. We have the inside of the windows painted on the bridge area. We got the banisters on the outside of the bridge painted. So what I'm going to focus on first is moving inside the bridge area. So let me get this to the picture, that way I can show y'all. Let me minus that picture down. We're right here. Okay, so looking inside the bridge area. Let me zoom this out. This is the inside of the bridge area. This is from the gameplay that they released of Honor and Glory. And we got these little boards down here below the windows. And in the middle window, it doesn't have one. So I'm going to have to figure out which one is the middle window and not put one on there. But we're going to put these little board sections onto the piece. So, get you focused back over here. I'm going to take this section right here. And I'm going to dry fit this onto that part the best that I can to figure out where the middle is. So looking at the two. Okay. Looking at this one more time. Matching everything. Let me see here. Yeah, that. Okay. So the middle ends up being right below this window right here. So this is the window right here that does not have one of those. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to take my lead pencil and I'm going to lightly draw a line. To let me know that's the middle. Okay. Now I'm going to adjust the camera, so hang on here a minute. So, right. And then scoot you down here. Tighten up this section. Alright. Now I'm going to get you right here to where I can do this. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my lead pencil and I'm going to draw all those symbols onto this piece. Starting with that one. So it looks like a board. It goes all the way down to almost the floor. Just like that, we're just going to draw a board. We're going to skip that one because it don't have one. And we're going to go over here. Sorry, I got you off focus. Give me a few seconds here. I'm fighting with this camera. Okay. Yeah, now you're in focus. So we're going to go here. Draw a line here. Draw us another square. Then we got another one over here. Just like that. Then we have another one over to the far edge, I think. Let me move the camera. Yeah, there's one on the outside edge. So now we have those squares drawn, so now we're going to move more down. And then we're going to go down below this window. And we're going to go down to this one. We're going to draw that. So we got that drawn. Got another window there. Looking at it over there, yeah. We're going to go some more. We got two more to draw. Draw another. Okay, that's basically just a rough sketch of some squares to resemble those things. Now we have to put holes in the center of them. So we got to draw circles in the centers of them. So let me just get that done. About like that. About like that. You can see there, we now have those board things made just by drawing them on. We just got to paint them in brown now. But also, I'm going to look on here. Yeah, that's all that we need to do. So now we're going to look towards that shelf that I showed you. Let me just zoom you back out. Let me get you over here. That shelf thing that hangs out right there, you can see it. It needs to be painted brown. So that shelf thing is basically on the inside of these pieces. And you can see it's sticking out right there. That little shelf. We need to paint that little shelf brown. From the looks of it, it's a dark brown, so we need the dark brown paint. After I just put that paint up and thought I was done with it. I'm doing good. So give me a few seconds here to get this paint open. The little thing wants to stick inside the bottle. Okay. Let me just grab my paintbrush. Get some paint. So we got some paint. And now I'm going to work on painting this little tiny shelf. So zoom you in. That little tiny shelf right there is what I'm going to be working on. So taking my time, painting that little shelf. I mean, we're talking miniature detail here of painting. And this is not the easiest thing to do. Especially when I got so much stuff in my way. Let me move some of this stuff. Set that over there. Ow, man. Okay, move my hand around. Okay, I got my hand over here now where I can do this. Painting. Now that we got that, I'm going to flip it upside down. I'm going to paint the bottom. Just like so, and then we just got to paint those little stems. Just like that. Let me look over here. Let's get the little side of this stem right here. Yeah. So, there you can see we have a little shelf painted. So, that's one. Doing the same for this one, because there's two. So painting the top, getting beside of it, painting down that little bracket, just like that. Flipping her around, taking my paintbrush, going down this side, trying to catch that little sticking out detail the best I can. Now we're going to flip her upside down. We're going to get some more paint. Then I'm going to work on painting under the shelf again. Just like so. Get it a little bit closer to the wall in the middle. Just like that. And now we're going to paint these brackets. So going down. There's one. There's two. You can see that we got our little shelf painted. So yeah, we got our little shelf painted. That's this detail done. So happy with that. Both them shelves are painted. So now I'm going to work on cleaning this brush and some more kerosene, which I keep in a vial. So just give me a few seconds to get this brush clean. There is a whole lot of steps to get done here. Getting me a paper towel. Wiping off this paint. Okay, I got my brush clean. I just got to seal the paint. So just give me a few seconds here. Grab the right bottle, we'll be doing okay. I almost put that back on the kerosene bottle. That would have been bad. Okay, seal the paint. Let me seal my kerosene so I don't dump my kerosene. Okay, now we're going to use that wood brown burn color, which is right here, and we're going to paint those squares that we did. So, shaking up the paint, making sure it's good and shooken up. We're going to get the paint ready. Let me work on adjusting you. Bring you up here. Adjust this camera. Now, let me see here where I can get my hands and where I can't. Okay. I can get my hands about there. So, adjust the camera. Let me move these little pieces. Oh, those are drying. Alright. Then I'll put my paint right here. And we're going to need this. Because we're going to paint those little squares. So getting some paint on my brush, not too much. Just a little bit at a time. Setting it over there. We're going to now work on painting these little tiny squares. Just like that. So still working. I hope my head isn't getting in the way while I'm doing this. I'm trying to look and paint at the same time. Trying to keep my head out of the way. Across the bottom here. Going up. Got a little bit of paint in there, but what I can do is scrape it out. So we'll scrape it out here in a minute. There's one. Going over the next one. There's two. Going over this one. There's three. Going over this one over here. And there's four. Going over the fifth one. There's five. You can see there. Getting this next one out of the way. And there we go. Now we're going to take a blade and scrape out that. Because I'm pretty sure you're wondering what I mean about scrape. I'll show you. We're going to take a really, really sharp X-Acto blade. And we're going to scratch inside of that square. Well, not square, but circle. Try to get out the paint that I don't want in there. Which, right now, you know, it's wet. It's not really going to scrape at first. So let me just set that there. And we'll try a different method. We'll try getting a piece of paper towel, making a very, very, very sharp point at the end of a paper towel. Just like that. And we're going to take it, try to keep it in the center as possible. Just like that. And then try to pull back up, which we did get a bit of paint. So try again. You can see that we pulled some paint out. So now we're going to try a little method of taking the blade again. And then we're going to start to slowly scratch. And you can see there, I'm scratching the paint out. And just like that. And now that I've scratched the paint out that I didn't want in there, I'm going to take my brush and go back over the outside. And there you can see the paint's out. And all of those are now painted. So we have that little detail done. So we'll set that to the side. Let's see here. Anything else I need to do with this brown before we seal it? Those need to be gold. Oh, another thing I gotta show you too. Those things that were white, I painted them brown. So I painted them brown. They're drying. So, yeah, we need to do a whole lot of work next. So, I'm going to seal up the wood brown burn color, because I think we're done with it for right now. And then I'm going to get my kerosene, because now we got to paint a whole lot of details in Titanic's main bridge. So, getting my paintbrush clean. And we're probably going to have to switch paintbrushes because this has got kerosene in it now. And we're going to be moving to water-based style colors. But then again, before we do that, there is something we have to do. So we'll do that first. Alright. Got the paintbrush clean. So let me get the lid back onto the kerosene. Okay. Let me get this situated to where we need to go next. Alright. We need to go here next. We need to go right here where the Titanic's wheel is. And do you see this right here? This thing in the background. We need to paint green on this side, and we need to paint red on that side. Now, we do have those. Those are in here. But the thing about it is, they're right there. They painted the whole thing gold. And they didn't paint them little tiny ball things. So that's what we're going to be painting now. So let me turn you around here. Get you back down to here. And let me work on getting these out of the bag. We don't need those binnacles. We need the binnacles, that's what we need. But we don't need those telegraphs yet. So I'm going to put the telegraphs back into the bag. Along with the two vents. Seal them in. And then I would highly advise having an alligator clamp. The first thing before you do this, you want to make sure how they go in the deck. Okay, so the key shapes, there's key shapes here. So the key shapes are going to be facing towards the front, so they face like this. Okay. Just make sure of that first. And I'm going to take the alligator clamp. Put that one in there. And then I need another alligator clamp, so give me a few seconds here. Let me get my next alligator clamp out of this little bag. These things come in very handy. Okay. And then we will put the first alligator clamp there. Yeah, and the alligator clamp has now got those little pieces secure. So, while we're doing that, I'm going to look through my pictures right here real fast. Inside the captain's bridge I'm looking at right now, it's the same thing. Okay, so keeping that picture there, I'm going to determine where the front of these are, because they got to face the same. So we got that. Hang on a minute here. Oh, sorry about that, yo. Okay, so back to figuring out this. That's the front. Yeah, that's the front. Okay, I'm just situating these things the correct way. And this right here is the front. Okay, so we got the front. So looking at it from my way, those are the fronts. So I'm going to get my green that I'm going to use, which on there it's a dark green, which I do have the dark green. We're going to use this dark green paint, and it's called FL. Well, there's the color. It's a hard name to pronounce. But anyway, I'm going to shake this up. And then on the right side of both of those, I'm going to paint those little teeny weeny tiny gold balls green. So let me just get my paintbrush dipped into the green. Alrighty, let me zoom you in here, because these things are super tiny. Okay, you can see them there. Alright. So looking at this, I'm looking at it myself. Gosh almighty, that's tiny. Shoo-wee. Well, anyway, we will begin the painting process. Sorry. I'm working on painting this little teeny weeny tiny thing now. Let me see where you're at. You're right there. Okay. Looking around it. I do apologize if over half the times it's not picking it up in camera. This is some very small tiny detail. But I'll show you the finished project. You can see there we got one painted green. So that was one. Now we're going to do our second one. see here, right there. Sorry, I gotta focus you. It's hard to focus you because this thing don't want to, you know, pick it up. It's so small detail. Okay. So taking... Paint dried up on me. Okay, dipping the paint back into the, or the paintbrush back into the paint. And then going for a round 2. Just like that. Now I'm going to look it around. Okay. Okay. There you go. Okay, both sides are painted green. So, I gotta clean my paintbrush now. Put the green paint away. And then we're going to go for the red. Which I gotta pick out what color red I want to use. Do I want to use a dark red, or do I want to use like an orange red? That looks like a red on the screen. But I don't know if I have a red. I'll see which the best one I got. Okay, got the brush clean, got to seal the green paint. This is also the same color paint that I used to paint the winches on my Titanic. So, let me see here. We got 2 reds. Let me look at these reds. That's leaning towards close to it, it looks like. What's this one, though? This one's like an orange red. And we got a dark red. Let me open this up, see if I can get a good example of what this red looks like. Hopefully the bottle didn't seal itself. If so, I'm going to have to use pliers to get this thing open. Okay, so it's like a, almost like a purplish red. Let me look around this. Okay, so it dries out to be like a, no, I don't like that color. So, I'll go for the orange red. We'll use this one. So let me shake this up. Then open it.